feel the language of I am depressed. My body is depressing right now. That's better said. Not I'm depressed, but I am depressing. There's a slowdown that's necessary for me to process things, for me
Mm,
to just be, for me to allow waves and stagnancies and everything in between that I don't know what's there because I'm doing my everything I'm supposed to do. But if
mhm.
I allow what it is, not that we can't then continue to depress ourselves, to
Yeah.
your point with
Yeah.
isolation, but sometimes that feeling when I first feel it, it's very sweet and sad. It's like
Sure.
I'm supposed to slow down because I've got to process some emotions that I'm not allowing to come up. And this body has to do this to be
Mm,
here in a very clear way.
And I mean, even in the natural, in the generating cycle, so, there's like fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. After metal, right, we talked about this kind of corporeal body. The next cycle is the water cycle. And the water cycle is associated, with sadness. That is the natural.
Mm,
So it's the natural facet of life to let go of these things and then move into a seed state essentially, right? Because water is
mm-hmm,
like probably the closest thing that we have to an infinite source of potentiality, right? Like everything comes from water, you know? And so you move into that water phase and then things arise, seeds arise from that, life arises from that. When we look for life on other planets, what are we looking for? We're not looking for actual beings, we're looking for water because that's the beginning. Metal is the end, water is the beginning. So this stage of
mm.
sadness, how you're talking about, is kind of the place where we collect, because that's what water wants to do. It wants to collect. It wants to, remain with itself, versus fire, which fire
And it
needs
wants to move. I feel that the
for sure.
idea of water, if it's stagnated, well, that's where bacteria grows.
Right?
So if
Yeah.
we're not moving and through water, it doesn't get to produce life. We
Yeah.
get stuck. We live the same year for 10 years.
Yeah. Yes. So that's
A
yeah.
different kind of grief. You can't get to the grief. You don't even know what the pain is.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a but to your point, yes. I mean, there is a natural kind of movement from that to that, from grief to sadness. That's kind of the thing. I mean, and just kind of talking about this sort of stages of grieving, if you will.